You'll of course have told from my accent that I'm originally a Scot, so don't tell a Scottish woman she can't eat potatoes. One of my favourite vegetables to use, the humble spud. So I'm going to show you an absolutely delicious Hasselback potato. Gorgeous as a side dish with your roast or, with practically anything that you're going to make on the weekend. So here's how to do it. First of all, I want a good glug of extra virgin olive oil here. And then to that, I'm going to add some herbs. Now, you can use whatever you've got. I'm going to use some lovely thyme and some rosemary. And then, of course, some garlic. Goes beautifully with potatoes. And then to that, I'm just going to put some lemon rind as well. You just want the rind to give that lovely lemony little citrus flavour. So I've got the rind from about 1 lemon in there. Give that a stir. Make sure the garlic is well distributed through that oil. Okay, let's just set that aside for a second, and I will show you the trick to Hasselback potatoes. Chopsticks. So you want a chopstick either side, then take your potato and put it between the chopsticks, so they're like train tracks. And then you just want a large, sharp knife, and essentially what the chopsticks are going to do is stop you from going all the way through the potato, because you don't want your potatoes to fall apart. They're just going to nicely fan open as they cook in the oven. So keep the chopsticks either side, cut down until you reach your chopsticks, and then carefully pull out. Okay, now your potato is going to be sitting together right now, but it will all fan open, I promise, once you get these into the oven. Now, in our I call it carb phobia, we tend to have labelled potatoes as carbs and written them off as if they're something that's bad for us. And that could not be further from the truth. What could be a better whole food than something like a potato that's just come straight out of the ground? And potatoes are not just carbs. In fact, they have got pretty much every nutrient present in different quantities in a potato. So there are so many more nutrients, and particularly if you eat them in the skin, as we're doing here, you're getting all that fibre. There's various kinds of nutrients and antioxidants just under the skin of the potato. So they are so valuable in your diet. So honestly, don't be fearful of potatoes. It's all about how we put foods together. And the best judge of a food is how close is it to the way that it grows or is created in nature. What's more natural than this? So it is that easy, but these look so fancy when they're done. So I've got them all laid into my pre-lined tray, and then what we want to do is just gently pull it apart and pour some of that oil over each potato. So when you've got these nicely oiled up, you've preheated your oven to about 200, so a nice hot oven, for about 45 minutes to an hour. But halfway through, I'm going to pull them back out and use the rest of this oil to rebaste, because what will happen is the potatoes will start to open up. And by rebasting with the oil, they're going to be super crispy and lovely by the time they're finished. Beautiful do these look? I think they look just a wee bit fancy. Now, so different options that you could do is 10 minutes or so before they finish cooking. You could go in there with some crumbled Stilton, don't knock it till you try it, or even some Parmesan or cheddar cheese if you want a cheesy version of this. You, of course, can vary the herbs and the garlic. But honestly, these are just so delicious. Pile them up on a plate, serve them at your next meal when you're doing a roast chicken, roast meat. Even when you're doing a barbecue, put these in the middle of the plate, and these are going to go down an absolute treat. Some parsley on the top. Look at that. That looks fancy enough to serve up at a dinner party, but easy enough to do even on a family weeknight dinner.